Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll talk about the movies, obviously their shows, I don't know, what have you. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, obviously I'll be talking about it. So I'm just trying to figure out how to fit Alice into this movie-a-thon. So I just figured, oh yes, I'm going to talk about the live action version of Alice in Wonderland, the remake or reimagining if you want to be fancy about it. So just want to do this. I mean, yes, granted, I've already covered this film technically, I guess, but I'm coming back to this because one, I want to complain about remakes and talk about Disney and talk about Alice in Wonderland, their version of it anyway. It's based upon the original film that they made a long time ago, so therefore it is a remake, not just an adaptation of the same book. And just want to talk about all these kinds of things, just put it all in one video. I'm going to review the Blu-ray version, which I'll get to in a bit. And here's the thing, though. There's been a comic book series and novels, some of which are reviewed, or based upon around the same kind of material, just with a horror twist in that kind of realm. So it just bogs my mind, why didn't Tim Burton just take some of the material from that and just make his own story around that specifically? A matter of fact, this Alice is supposed to be the same Alice from the original animated movie, just grown up. And to me, there's a lot of material here, this specifically, because it was quite ongoing. It's a long series, so there's plenty of material. So why didn't you do that? I have no idea. You mean to tell me you put all your resources, which is pretty. This was an expensive movie, by the way. It had a big budget, and you just to tell me the same exact story all over again? What? And don't get me wrong, having the whole goth style to it doesn't bother me because, oddly enough, it actually does fit in the grand scheme of stuff for Alice in Wonderland because it's supposed to be imaginative anyway. So, like I said, it's fine. I have no issue with this, like at all. I mean, not every movie of his has to be gothic, sure, but it does fit with this movie when you think about it. So there's that, I guess. Anyway, but the thing is that Mr. Monkey, damn it, Mr. Monkey. Hey, I'm supposed to sell those movies. No, don't argue with me. I'm supposed to sell them. I'm supposed to go to Rasputin, not you. Anyway, let's go to the plot, shall we? You know, why do I bother anyway? We all know what happens here. Okay, in this version of the story, and so instead of being underage, around at least 11, 12, or something like that, she's 19. Which, yes, I know they did it deliberately, specifically a lot older. But anyway, she accidentally falls down a rabbit hole because of the whole rabbit thing, yada yada yada, the Red Queen. She has to do something against her, returns to Wonderland, yada yada yada, along with the Mad Hatter, so on and so forth. And then the only added detail that was changed, of course, that actually worth a damn and saw is the whole White Queen and then the Red Queen. There was a whole thing against them, I guess, and whatnot. And then there was like a let me see here, like a whole war thing, I guess, kind of a thing. Those are the only real major differences, really. But other than that, just roughly in the grand scheme of things, it's the exact same story. I don't understand as to why they couldn't just make a sequel to the animated movie instead of just doing this. I don't know. That makes no sense. I don't get it. But also, the thing, Mr. Monkey, what in the hell are you doing? Stay away from those movies. I told you I'm supposed to sell them. Anyway. But yeah, folks, it just feels rather lackluster in a lot of ways. And I just thought I'd just give this a chance because, well, it involves Alice, and the original Alice in Wonderland was from Disney was definitely one of my top favorites, of course, and still is to this up every day. And just wow, okay. But anyway, like I said earlier, folks, I'm going to be reviewing the Blu-ray version of this movie, and it's this one. It actually has some special cards to it, of course. This feature, like this kind of special features where you see find Alice, the Mad Hatter, the stuff like this, something about the Red Queen, of course, and of course scoring. Wonderland when it comes to the music, the effects, the stunts. So yes, it's actually jam packed with quite a bit of stuff. And these are the cards here, folks. 6 cards, of course. And this obviously has the Blu-ray and DVD, of course. So there's that. It has 3 discs, by the way. But yeah, all in all, this was actually a real packaged thing. It's a Best Buy exclusive with bonus inside, as you can see. 6 collectible character cards, of course. And yeah, those is jam packed with a bunch of stuff, of course, and digital download as well. You can watch it with that, of course. So yeah, like I said, it was packed with so much stuff you can actually look at. So that's good, I guess. Of course, there's also the options if you want to listen to the movie in Spanish. And there's also English subtitles as well if you want to choose that. And also on top of all this, obviously the HD quality is actually quite nice. So yeah, the movie is nice to look at, especially in this packaging right here, folks. I mean, the movie's still terrible. It still feels like rather lackluster in a lot of ways because it just feels like been there, done that kind of a thing. So if anything, it's just kind of boring at the end of the day. And just, I guess if you're a fan of Tim Burton, you're in for a treat, I suppose, because like I was saying, there's definitely quite a bit to look into when it comes to this edition of the film. So if you want to get your hands on Tim Burton's collection of movies, I guess I would recommend this because you're going to look at a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, I guess, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, it doesn't make it for the fact the movies are very good, really, but still. Yes, if you're a fan of the director or just a fan of Disney in general, I guess you could use it as an excuse to collect it. I guess, like I am with Disney Alice related stuff, I suppose. But like I said, I didn't like this very much, like at all. It wasn't obvious already. And Mr. Monkey, damn it, did I tell you to go do some chores? I mean, really, what is the matter with you? Christ. Anyway, but yeah, the acting is okay, I guess. The Mad Hatter being portrayed by Johnny Depp, I know he's trying to give his own version of the character, like his own spin, his own personality, which is fine. I still don't know why they had to age her up, though. Alice, what was the whole point of that, really? I don't know. I mean, I will go into some subject specific matter that the author was being accused of, but I'll just leave it at that. Maybe I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but whatever. Anyway, and making Alice be some kind of warrior was also kind of asinine in some ways. Because yes, I know there were accusations. Yeah, speaking of which, of Walt Disney being sexist, apparently. But even though that was quite clearly proven to be completely false, and it just seems like okay, you don't have to do this, right? You know, showing the character strength of a woman doesn't always have to be physical. Not always, anyway. It can be emotional support or something. I don't know. You do it in a variety of ways, which I find this entire thing really ironic. They want these female characters to branch out, while ultimately by putting them in a single category. So if anything, this seems counterproductive when you think about it. So this movie came out like it was being remade just to counter those supposed criticism to these sexist claims, I guess. Whatever, whatever. If anything, this movie just makes me want to appreciate the original Alice in Wonderland even more because it came off more genuine when you think about it. And I mean, yes, of course, that film was stuck in deliberate limbo for of roughly 20 years. But Walt Disney finally made it. It was imaginative. It was graceful in its own little way. Of course, Alice herself was pretty rebellious. Of course, she was definitely thick-headed, so to speak. But that's a powerful character. She's supposed to be a own way to begin with. And she had to go on this grand adventure, maybe to learn some kind of lesson, of course. And maybe you can't always get what you want and whatnot, stuff like that in that nature. So there was that. So I would choose the original film any day of the week over the remake because it was actually good. I mean, it was much shorter, sure, but still though. In the film, the remake version anyway, had actually generated a lot of money in ticket sales, and it became the 5th highest grossing film during its initial run. And of course, it is also the 2nd highest grossing film of 2010 amongst Disney live action films, what they did, of course, and of course, the 3rd most expensive, along with the remake of Mulan. And just Christ, yeah, it became one of the most highest grossing films among the fourth highest grossing film when it comes to adaptations to date. So there's that. I don't. It doesn't bother me that there's a female lead. So I'm not gonna be one of those people, but like, oh no, it's feminist propaganda. I'm not gonna say anything stupid shit like that. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that the whole motivation behind it is what I'm trying to get out here, folks. Trying to fix a problem that wasn't even there to begin with. That's like saying, hey, let's remake Frozen just because of the fact that pastors keep saying that it's about turning people gay and witchcraft, and also because people seem to have a grudge against cookies and whatnot. What?
And somebody mentioned this. Apparently only Breitbart covered it. Very few people know that this has happened so far. As millions of moms consider digging into pocketbooks for Girl Scout cookies this year, they may be interested to know about the hiring of Krista Cookjohn Poehler in the Girl Scouts executive office in New York City. Cookjohn Poehler is an out-of-the-closet lesbian married to a woman named Ashley Cookjohn, and given her sexual preference, it may strike some as odd that her new job title is Girl Experience Officer, again, for the national offices of the Girl Scouts. Steve, concerning.
Yeah.
This is a concerning matter. San Diego Magazine featured Cookjohn Poehler's 2007 commitment ceremony. The brides were radiant in formal white gowns. Their parents wore black.
I wonder
why.
Yeah.
The main charge leveled by Girl Scout critics concerns the leftward drift of the Girl Scouts, which was founded along conservative religious principles. The leftward drift began in the early 90s when God was made optional in the Girl Scout promise. This precipitated the founding of the American Heritage Girls and the first widespread exit from the Girl Scouts. I met the American Heritage Girls at the NRB convention in Nashville, Tennessee last week, and I want to have them on the program at some point in the future, Steve.
Just because people accuse you of doing something sinister behind closed doors does not mean you trying to correct the course by remaking everything. That's just flat out stupid. Like how Walt Disney was allegedly anti-Semitic, which of course proved to be a lie as well. Anyway, just that's how it comes off. It's just to remake it, just to rectify something. What the hell, Mr. Monkey? What's your? Oh, you want the movie? Okay, here it is. You want it? Here you go. Yeah, yeah, that's what you get. Anyway, ultimately, this film just feels like it was wasted potential. It felt very predictable in a lot of ways, and it seems like it was overly heavy on CGI in a lot of ways. It feels too polished to strike a chord and convincing, at least as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, there's a surreal lack of wonder in this Wonderland. And I don't mind it being weird and whatnot. I just didn't like how it was done, is all I'm saying. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing in the sense that they could have done a lot more with what they had. It's Wonderland, and it's one there's like so much you could have done with this, but you just stuck with the familiar. What was already done. And I've already complained about this already, but Jesus Christ, they could have done so much more. Whatever. I'm giving this film a Novaval rating of a 4.8 out of 10. It's a 4.8 out of 10. At least this version, anyway. Thanks for watching and take care. See ya. That's it. I'm gonna win these. Again. Oh, that's how many times I've been here already. I'm gonna get so fat.